to participate.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
Okay. So let's go back to here. I think we stop at we stop right here, I guess. We done with number 7, I guess.
7 is surpassing arrogance. Yes.
Okay, now you go ahead and do number 8.
8 is the rise of wrong view arrogance. Having no virtue, he indulges in evil deeds, claiming to be virtuous.
Okay, what do you?
Yeah, so if someone is confused as to what is virtuous and what is not, then they're holding wrong views. And so they may sincerely think they are virtuous and not know that, they're actually not, that they're indulging in evil deeds.
So what is virtue in your sense?
Virtue are the sort of actions, choices that come out of seeing the way of things clearly. And that at its heart, there's compassion for all living beings. There's a recognition that
Mm.
everything is unified, everything is one, so that others' well-being are our own well-being. And then that can manifest in a lot of different ways, like patience, generosity, discipline,
Mm.
the practice of wisdom, uh, concentration. So, but they're all revolving around a desire to not harm any living beings, but to help living beings in any way possible.
So what about the people who provide given, do they even material like even that considered to be virtue?
Giving can be done in a way that's non-virtuous, but it can also be done in a way that's an expression of virtue.
So can you give me example of two?
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot, where if there's some sort of quid pro quo, whether it's spoken or not spoken with giving, then it's not virtuous. It's more of a transaction. So if I give uh, to someone, and I expect that now this person is going to treat me extra nice because I gave to them. And if that person fails to treat me extra nice, or maybe even is rude to me, and I become upset thinking that how could they do this? I've given them something. Well, I never really gave that to them then. It was more of a trade, an unspoken trade that I was trying to enact. Whereas virtuous giving, the giver has no concept of themselves as being the giver, and they don't hold on to the concept as the person receiving being the receiver, and they also don't hold the concept that they're giving, that anything is being given. It's this you could maybe describe it as emptiness in a sense, or just a natural expression, or that the giving is a like a phenomena that's not related to self or other, so the person is seeing clearly in the giving.
Yeah, when we do the given absent, with the absent of the three, right? The giver, the receiver, and also the object that's been given. Do you think it's easy to do?
I think to do that completely, one has to be enlightened. I mean,
That's
to
true.
to
That's
have
true.
no mark of self, other, or
Mhm.
that which is given, I think it's relatively easy to bring that to mind, to recall as when one is giving, to have the intention to not hold on to those things. But some part of our mind automatically will certainly do that unless we've achieved liberation and we're
Yeah,
just
that's
living
true.
from
That's
Buddha
true.
nature.
That's true. So I just teach the kid in my at 12:30 to 1:30 in my the topic is the depression, right? Depression and relate to the cognitive distortion. It's called catastrophism, CATA.
Oh, catastrophization.
Yeah, that is okay. So basically, that means they expect something happen, right? I mean negatively. So what if I help this person, he come back and betray me or abandon me?
Well, the ideal scenario, I think, is, if if you're an enlightened being, well, then it would have no negative feeling would arise with respect to that.
Mm.
But for someone, like myself, if that were to happen, probably initially I would notice that I had some feeling and thinking about being a little upset about that. And I would need to be mindful about the teachings on transforming suffering into happiness and recontextualizing the situation. We've talked about this a lot too,
Mm.
where that human beings are the blessing field. So when that person comes back and does that, it's the perfect opportunity to practice. It's kind of like if you want to get better at baseball, you want someone throwing a baseball to you so you can try to hit it. And it's like that person is throwing you the baseball to hit, and the hitting it would be forgiving that person, not taking it personally, but trying to understand where the person is coming from, trying to be compassionate and patient,
Mm.
and to release any personal upset about the situation, and
Mm.
to still maintain one's commitment to help others in the same way or even more, to not retreat from that effort.
Mm. Okay, that's good. That's really good. Okay, try number 9.
9 is the rise of the arrogance of overbearing arrogance. For people who are better than us, um, they think someone with overbearing arrogance thinks they are inferior to us. So for people who are, if we're saying us, I think if we said it for people who are better than us, we think we are better than them.
Mm. For the people who are better than us, think they are inferior than us.
Because if for the people who are better than us, so now in the, like, grammatically, we'd be talking about us. So in this case, us, then it's a, when we say they think, or think they, so the people who are better than us think they are inferior to us. It'd be like the people who are better think they're inferior is 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 how the grammar sounds.
Oh, okay, okay. So how do we reword it so it's better?
We could say when we think we are better than those who are in fact superior to us.
For the people who are better than us, we think they are inferior than us,
Yes, that would work. Yeah,
right?
yeah. If we just add the we.
That makes sense, right?
That's perfect. Yeah.
Okay. So that's why arrogant of overbearing, arrogant. Or we say that arrogant of too arrogant. So which one is better?
Um, I like the term overbearing. They use it in the Burton Watson translation of the Lotus Sutra,
Okay, that's fine.
but I mean, it's in the chapter 2 in the verse form begins.
Okay, good. Then
They
we
are
will
monks and
take.
nuns with overbearing arrogance.
Okay, all right. That's good. That's
The
good.
ones who leave when the Lotus Sutra begins to preach. And
Hmm.
so it would make sense because they're leaving when the Buddha's preaching, so they're kind of thinking that they know better than the Buddha. So that would seem to be like the same as this.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So, hmm. And you know what? Um, hmm. The people nowadays, this type of people also exist in this society, right? They when we ask them to learn, they only want to learn in the software, the socket, uh, mm, and they're very lazy, but they think that they better than the other people. I'm talking about a kid.
Hmm.
Mm. But for adult, I think it's similar, I guess. Do you have any good example for this?
Oh, myself, when I first
Hmm.
started learning, I thought I was hot stuff. I thought like, I'm gonna make quick work of this enlightenment thing.
Oh, I see, I see. Hmm.
Yeah, and I think I can looking back and see my mind being very judgmental of others and not even knowing that I would, look for faults in others and ignore my own faults,
Hmm.
try to, you know, to make me like to reinforce my own self-pride.
Right.
So I think it's probably fairly common. Obviously, not everybody is going to do that. There's plenty of people who are humble, and even in the beginning, they see clearly. They wouldn't, they wouldn't fall into that trap.
So how about you? Right now, it's much. I think you easily overcome that, right?
Yes, I there may still be glimmers of it from time to time, where
Hmm.
I might notice something arising in my mind,
Hmm.
but it's not the main thought. It's not like the thought that I automatically believe. It's kind of
Hmm.
like, whoa, what's that about? That does not make sense at all. I think I've become much more attendant and aware of my faults.
That's good. That do you think it's a big deal, right? Do you think?
Yeah, I think we at least that's sort of I think a real minimum in the beginning is or eventually to be very clear what is a fault and what is not a fault within ourselves.
Hmm.
And even if we don't cut them off right away, like we shouldn't fool ourselves about them being like helpful or not helpful.
Hmm. Yeah, that's good. Let do number 10.
10 is to dedicate the good roots toward the Asura path. Whoa, okay. So they're beings who actually intentionally dedicate it towards that path.
Hmm. I mean, whenever they do the good deed, right? They
Yeah.
want to dedicate their good deed toward that path. So what's wrong with it then?
Well, I guess I could see that because somebody could do that and not even think that that's what they're doing. Like when I was a kid, I would have this wish that I wanted to be the richest person in the world, the
Ah.
strongest person in the world. And like, I'm not sure. I think this was because I was maybe like, this started when I was probably 6 years old or something. And like, I think maybe to have everybody in the world like me, something like that. But it was definitely the richest person and the strongest person. And that's kind of Asura like in a
Yeah.
um and I was very comfortable with competition and all of that. So I could see people like automatically thinking that way when they do a good deed, like, oh, this is going to help me like get richer, this is going to help me get stronger, or something like that, or beat these other people. Yeah, I could. It's probably not conscious, is my guess. They're probably not realizing what they're doing.
But I think now you can think it, you can see it better, right?
Oh, it's funny now. It's really funny looking back.
Okay,
Like,
that's good. That's good.
yeah, and also it's just I don't have any chance either. Like I get now, there's no way I would be the richest person or the strongest person, and that wouldn't actually lead to the sort of satisfaction that I thought it would as a child.
Hmm. I have a lay person here. He very dedicated in recite the mantra and practice. But the only thing I see that he really smart. He worked for NASA in the
Hmm.
past for 10 years. And after that he got laid off and he did not go out and apply for another job. And he stay unemployed for long, for maybe 15 years, 10 years, or more than 10 years, I guess. Anyway, but the reason is he not search for, he not devoted his time to search for another job because he think that he have an idea how to invent it. That means he think he's very smart. That's what he think. And he also have an idea how to invent it. And also um, he also really put his time and devote his time to come up with the model. I mean, by trying and eventually, hopefully, that he will be able to make it become visualization, material. So what's wrong with this thing? If we are the dedicated practice and you come up, you invent some kind of technology, is that a good thing?
It could be. I think it's hard to say. I guess it depends on the intention and what the technology does.
Let's say, yeah, of course, he have a very good intent and he want to use this kind of new invention to improve, to promote Buddhism to the scientists.
Hmm.
And also maybe he have money to support the Buddhism.
Yeah, then it could be a good thing. I mean, sometimes we find that when we get more money, we don't always keep the same behavior. Sometimes our behaviors change, more temptations arise.
Mm.
So hard to say if an action will end up being good or bad ultimately, because there's all sorts of variabilities that come into it, and it depends from what viewpoint it's looked at. But generally, I would say from a conventional standpoint, inventing something that's helpful for people is good.
Well, a lot of things is when it come out at the beginning, it's for the good, for the sake of a human, right? But you know what? If it fall into the wrong hand,
Hmm.
they can manipulate it, use it for the bad thing. Don't you think? It just like a knife have two blades,
Yeah.
and especially nowadays, right? You see AI, right? It's good for human, and it's really bad for human. And you see AI nowadays everywhere. The
Oh, yeah.
TBS, it's AI too, don't you think?
Yeah. Probably there's an element in GPS to help pick the best routes.
Right. And also they help us to guide us throughout the whole trip and also help us to avoid the traffic and also tell us, oh, because I use the Wave app, they also tell you that the police report ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, a speed trap.
So yeah, that is all about AI. But nowadays AI is also in the war,
Oh
right?
yeah.
For Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Hamas, and Houthi. Oh my goodness, AI everywhere. That means Rome, they AI, right? They use Rome to attack the enemy.
Yeah.
Oh my
Or
God.
when the drones get jammed so the pilots can't control them, there can be an AI autopilot too. Yeah, yeah. It's everywhere. My brother actually has a job now at Eli Lilly in integrating AI through the company.
So technology it have both sides, good and bad. And yes, and also think about this. Yeah, he have 7 children. Okay.
Wow, and he hasn't been working? That's tough. How is he taking care
Oh
of?
no, he can manage it because he he pay off the house and he have hit a 401k all this thing. It's
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
nowadays he retired already.
Oh, nice.
It's okay, not too bad. And you know what? If you suddenly have a lot of money, what happened to your children?
If you suddenly have a lot of money, it depends how that money's used. If if the money is used recklessly, children may develop, if they're young, especially when it's happening, they may develop a distortion with their relationship with money. They may, not develop a good work ethic. People who are born into really rich families sometimes never develop any skills. They just are waiting until they get their inheritance. Um, so
So
it, but
so
I know other ones who grew up in rich families and they work super hard to build their own fortune to support their family. So again, it's the whole cause and condition thing. So it kind of depends upon the condition as well.
mm. So money not always good anyway, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Mm.
Totally.
And
It's
and you know what? Let's say before we don't have money and we be able to teach our kids. And nowadays, especially the kid is very tough to teach them because again, it's very challenging. Kids cannot be able to concentrate due to the game, and they are very easy upset, and they are very wild due to the game. So teaching the kid it's very tough. You have to have a very good experience mean, and you have to be wise and flexible to the point that you can help them. But in the past, when you teach the kid in the old day, it's easy, much easy. But now it's a big challenge, and the kid won't listen to you. And what can we do? You cannot do anything about that.
yeah.
You cannot force them. So it's terrible. So maybe he doesn't have enough feather. You know what feather mean?
No.
Fetter in Buddhism.
Oh,
Feather.
fetters, like restrictions?
That's like you tie your hand,
Yeah.
right? It limits you do things, right?
Yeah.
That means he have 7 children.
Uh-huh.
Not tie him down. Is not enough?
It's a lot of kids. That's a whole
And
lot.
and now if he have money, the kid will become even wild. And it's crazy. But anyway, go ahead and do this according to the.
It's interesting you mentioned that. I'm actually working with Purdue right now to have some students develop an invention idea. So,
Okay.
yeah, I have an idea, and I talked with the professors, and they think it's good. They think that their students will be able to develop it. And I'm super excited about it because I've had the idea for years. And hopefully it'll start this summer or at the latest in the fall.
About the new invention that you come up with.
Uh-huh.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah. I'll definitely share it with you.
Yeah, go ahead. According.
According to the proper Dharma Remembrance Sutra, it is widely explained. Most sentient beings, due to the three types of karma, anger, arrogance, and doubt, suffer the retribution of being born in that path, Asura. Furthermore, the Samyukta Agama Sutra says, in his previous life, Asura used to be a poor person near the river, often carrying firewood across the river. At that time, the river water was deep and flowing rapidly. That person was swept away by the water several times and was about to die, but luckily he escaped.
Keep going.
There was a Pratyeka Buddha who came to the house for begging food, and he happily made offerings. After eating the food, he immediately flew away into the sky. Seeing that, the poor man made a wish. In my next life, may my body be so great that any stream of water will not reach my knees. Thanks to this cause and effect, Asura has a very giant body. The water of the four great seas is no more than knee deep. Standing in the great sea, the body rises above Mount Sumeru. Put his hands on the top of the
Okay.
mountain and bend down to look at the Triastrimsha heaven.
Okay.
Wow, it's a huge body. Um, so we talked about how asuras could be in many different of the six paths. And so in this case, this would seem to be an asura who was a heavenly being if their form was so large
Hmm.
to me.
Yeah,
And
originally he was the poor person, right?
yeah, it's also interesting that he didn't, in the story, he didn't really show any anger or competitiveness or arrogance. He really just wished to be free from threat from drowning because of his experience with drowning.
Hmm.
And he seemed also, at least, somewhat generous because he didn't turn away the Pratyeka Buddha who came begging. Um, so to me, this one is a little interesting because the character who was reborn as an Asura didn't seem to exhibit all the different traits that we've talked about for Asuras.
Okay. Wow. Okay, I understand. So he did not have any kind of trait that make him to become a Sura in the future.
Well, no, it just, at least in the story, they didn't talk about him being angry or
Right.
competitive or ambitious.
So how would that work?
I know I mean, his desire to have a large body seemed to be the main driving force in his incarnation.
The vow.
Uh-huh.
That is his vow, right? He vowed to become a Sura, right?
So
He
when
he he
he
desired he desired that means his wish to become a Sura.
I thought he just wanted to be large so he could never drown.
Well, okay, got it. Yeah. The the only form of within the sixth realm, right, that form of that is similar to the form of Sutra. So basically, um
Yeah.
Mm.
Makes this cause and effect. Because another way, I would think he wants to be so great that no stream of water would drown him. Like
Yeah.
he could come back as a whale. He'd
Uh,
never drown if he was a whale or like a fish or something. So I thought this one was interesting. I would think he would have to have been.
No, but he said that maybe in my neckline, my body be so red and my that any stream of water will not reach my knee. That means it's a human.
Yeah,
It's
that'll
similar
still
to
have
some
knees.
kind of human, don't you think? And this type of human do not have this kind of body, only a sutra. Because
Mhm.
the heaven, they don't deal with the thing of body, only a sutra.
Okay.
So how do we explain in to the one that who do not know about Buddhism? They can be able to understand it. It's not
Yeah.
easy. It's not easy.
Um, I mean, we've talked about the power of vows before,
Yeah.
and I don't think that can get us there all the way. Like if I just said, may I always only ever be born as a king with limitless wealth. Like I would have to have the karma additionally to be able to be reborn that way. Um,
But don't you think that his wish is similar to the vow?
his wish is definitely similar to a vow, yeah. And then
Mhm.
I think maybe his karma came from feeding the Pratyeka Buddha. That's how he had the benefit that his wish vow came true.
Yeah. And you remember I when I teach the kid about depression, I show them um, they a video the doctor, no, the psychologist work with the neuron logic, and when they use the image of the scan, right, to be able to understand the mental problem. And that means they be able to build the 83,000 image of scan on different type of mental problem, all kind of mental problem. And what do we see is in those database, each sickness, right? They have, let's say, the people who have depression, but who have committed suicide. That means that inside their brain, they form a pattern. Who have the same uh, mental problem, they will have the same pattern. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
And the one who have depression with certain type of cognitive distortion, they will form a certain pattern of the brain inside in the CT scan image. And what does this tell us?
Oh, that there is a
83,000 images represent for all kind of mental problem. What does this thing tell us?
there's repeated patterns, that there's certain ways of functioning in the brain that are common amongst these different conditions.
So let's say that they go into have let's say a new patient come in, they scan the brain. Can they be able to use that image and to search throughout the database?
Yeah, they could make a diagnosis probably off of the image.
Yeah, they be able to search for the similar type of pattern.
Hmm.
Yeah, they do. And what does that mean in Buddhism, especially the consciousness only?
Hmm.
You learn about the consciousness only.
Yeah, yeah.
So what do you, how, If you using the consonant only, that means the 8 consonant as well as the belonging to the 8 consonants, the mind that belongs.
So the fact that the brain shows certain patterns associated with certain disease, and those patterns show up in different people if they have that process going on, like depression or anxiety. What
Panic,
does that
whatever.
mean about consciousness only? Well, they're all kind of processing things in the same way. If someone has depression, they're going to process what they're aware of, what they're conscious of, their sense data and their feelings and their thoughts. They're all going to run through the similar sort of pattern to other people who have depression.
So basically, in Buddhism, yet we have 8 consonants. It means the stream of consciousness. Right? That is just the stream of consciousness. And the stream of consciousness, they do have pattern. Just like our habit. Each habit, they form a pattern of consciousness. Don't you think?
Yeah.
The people who are addicted to the cigarette, addicted to the marijuana, addicted to the cocaine, they do have certain pattern
Yeah.
in their mind.
Would those, I've heard Thich Dat explain those sort of patterns as mental formations.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's well, basically, let's say the people who have a habit of anger, they do have a pattern of anger. The people who have loving kindness, who have compassion, they also have a pattern of those things in their alaya consciousness. Don't you think?
Yes.
So basically, the mental formation, how it works. So you take you have the condition is we contact the outside world, right? Through the 5 senses. Does it make sense, right? Someone yell at us or accuse us. That means our ear listen to that voice, angry voice. That means our ear contact that voice. Our eye see that person, that means our eye contact that person. This is the condition. Due to this condition, we take that data in and we put into the mind consciousness, right? And the data will be in the memory, and the mana consciousness will wrap that data and put into the Arya consciousness so when the data come in, we put into the mind consciousness. It also have the same pattern. Don't you think? And that pattern, the mana consciousness will take that pattern in and go to the Arya consciousness at the database, right? And search for the database. Yes, I have the same pattern here, and I give the data, the result to the mana consciousness. And when the result inside the mana consciousness, that become the emotion. Right? Emotion. And that emotion, if we are not strong enough, and that emotion, and the data inside the Alaya consciousness, that pattern, we call subconsciousness because we cannot see it. Right? And that data, we bring the mana consciousness, bring that result from the Alaya consciousness and make it appear in the mind consciousness. We call manifest. We manifest that data from the subconsciousness, the one that we do not see, and now we make it appear into the mind consciousness. That's what we call manifest the data. And that data become very detailed, right? And the pattern become very concrete. And it will so inside the mind consciousness at the mental formation. Yeah. And that's why the mind become anger. The mind, that means the anger take over the mind. If the person who be able to control the anger, and that means they will have the rational thought and they will deform the mental formation of the anger. Does it make sense? But if we let the anger control us, then the anger become the mental formation. And that's why the anger inside the mind already appear. This is called mental formation. From the mental formation of the anger, and we make it physical formation of the anger. That means our face become very hard. We hold it, the hand into the fist, right? Our body is shaking. This is the physical formation of the anger. When it becomes the physical formation, it's already too late. It's done. You cannot undo it. You only stop at the mind, not the physical. Before the mind produce the physical. Remember the model, the Buddhist model, psychology model I give with the mantra?
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole idea, to stop at the mind. To become the physical formation, to become stronger, right? Okay, this is important. So now go back to this, right? The person, this person right here, he just wished, right? To because he afraid of being drowned into the water. And he wished that in the future he have a big body that water can only reach to the knee. And he did not know this is Asura thinking. But you know what? In his mind at that moment, he already formed the mental formation of Asura that he did not aware. Yeah. That's why when a person died, right, there are two criteria that will lead us to reborn into the where we want to. The first one is the consciousness. That means the current consciousness. The second one is the power of the karma. But now we have the vow or the wish become the third criteria. And his wish, it becomes stronger due to the trauma, right? Due to the thing that it triggered him. Okay, let me get my cable. I'm almost run out.
Oh, it's almost gonna die. Okay.
Okay, think about it. Okay. My battery is really bad. It only holds 50 minutes. Okay. Uh, yeah, we good. We good. What? So, I hope that kind of explanation is okay, right?
Yes, yeah.
Um,
Because he aligned with one element of being an Asura, that was sufficient because that's all he cared about. He wasn't thinking about other concerns. He was so driven by the fear that even though he didn't necessarily have those other traits of an Asura, he still became one in a future life. So I think it's, encourages mindfulness, encourages us being thoughtful about, the sort of wishes we hold in our mind.
mm. And a lot of people wish to win the lottery, right? Wish to become rich.
Yeah.
Do they know? Do they really know the dangerous of those things?
All right. Yeah, most people think money will bring them happiness, but there's a rapper actually by the name of J. Cole. He's got a really nice line where he says there's beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success.
Hmm.
And just it does seem to happen to a lot of people that once they get to that point where they have a lot of money, it's not actually it doesn't make most people happy if they're not already happy people.
Don't you know that the statistics say that most of the people who won the lottery, they are terrible.
Yeah, I think bankruptcy is pretty common.
Bankruptcy and the family broken.
Yeah, because greed and everybody wants a piece.
It
And
destroy everything.
well, we saw when my mom and sister had a television show together, and it's public knowledge now, so it's fine this is recorded because my sister's actually gone on and talked about it on her podcast. But we saw the television show and the fame that came along with it really drive a wedge between my mom and sister. Um, and it's really unfortunate. Like when we first came back home, I started my relationship back with my older sister, um, and then it really quickly deteriorated as the fame from the show grew, and
Hmm.
it's it really does change people, and then people get surrounded by folks that weren't there before the money or the fame, and they won't be there when the money and the fame are gone. They just show up for the money and the fame, but they tend to be kind of nice to be around because they're being fake. They're just being extra nice to the person who has the money or the fame so they can be in their circle. And so
Hmm.
it changes how that person doesn't get the same sort of feedback they normally would from folks who are just around them because they want to be around them because they're friends or family.
Don't
Um,
you think that sometimes people, because of their desire, they betray their own good trait,
yeah.
good
I
character.
I've wondered for a while how you would think and feel about this phenomena on YouTube. There's a YouTube creator called Mr. Beast, and he is the biggest YouTuber that there ever is. He has, I think, over 200 million subscribers, and his videos on average get about 140 million views within a day. His biggest video, I think, has gotten like over 500,000 views. And you can see like what he's done with his money is instead of indulging in this super lavish lifestyle, he uses that money and he does all sorts of these philanthropic works. Like he fixes cleft palates, he gives people like cataract surgeries, he does for amputees, he gives them like new legs. He's put all these wells in Africa. So he's someone who's been able to take the fame and the money and at least appear to have worked with it pretty well and has kind of mastered a little bit of that typical trend that people just chase after more material stuff. And he's kind of limited how much indulgence he's done for himself personally. Like he's not buying a bunch of sports cars or buying bigger and bigger houses, but instead he's reinvesting that money to like give to people, and then he makes videos about it. So then he makes even more money on those videos that he can put back into helping more people. It's cool.
Well, actually, those people exist in this world. That's a good thing, right? And it's very tough. It's very rare for this specific type of person, especially when we rich, right? We have a lot of fame, and we will have a lot of arrogance, and that will destroy us. But to him, it's opposite. That is extremely rare. The only thinking or explanation I can give is, well, this person, I don't know. I'm not too sure here Buddhism nowadays. But in the past, he um he uh he will be able to learn. Just like in Buddhism, we be able to learn Buddhism and we do the good deed at the same time. I mean, the Buddhism in the Mahayana teaching is important. And he be able to develop loving kindness and compassion. Wow, in the past. And at the same time, he do the bless the good deed, right, in the past. And that's why he be able to become rich, become famous. And also he been offered to the triple gem in the past. And that's why make him to become very famous nowadays. And with good root like him in the past, I assume. And when he enjoy his blessing, his mind of the good root is still there, and that's why he can see he can be able to continue on the good route, even though he have a lot of blessing and from the soul as well, that he generate a lot of money, but he don't hold on the fame and the money, but he use that for the good cause. That what I can explain. Yeah, it happened. And that's why we say that in Buddhism, yes, we do the good deed, at the same time we have to cultivate it, especially the bodhicitta mind. And yet, if we happen to be in the future born like him and be able to enjoy the blessing, and be able to continue on the blessing, that's important. In this day, this thing is very rare, very rare.
Oh yeah.
I heard that Bill Gates also be able to donate all his money to do
Oh
all the
yeah,
good deeds.
he's given a whole lot.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And I wish that they
Yeah.
be able to practice the given with the three absent.
Mhm.
That's important. And that will make them to become virtue. Not only blessing, but become virtue. And it means that they have wisdom. That can last longer, otherwise it won't last long. Right?
Mhm.
You remember I told you the story about the Saka, the king of the god in the second heaven, he exalts all his blessing, and he
Yes.
almost fall into the animal realm.
Hmm.
From the king of the god, fall into the animal realm, that in almost impossible, unspeaking.
Yeah.
And luckily that one of his the other god, right? That means one of his subordinate, right? Came and saw the king and asked him, um, look like you are worried something, right? You are not feel good today. What happened? And the king told the truth. And that's why this God right here, this haven't been advised the king that now the Buddha is still in the world, and he sit meditation in the cave. You can go down there and bow to him 3 times each time to say that your name, and also say that I am take refuge with the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. That's all you need to do. And you know what? When he don't go down there and he just do the bow, right? The first bow, not complete yet, and he take refuge in the Buddha and the Dharma, and he died. And his Arya consciousness leave his body and enter into the female of the male, I think yeah. Um and um and during that time, and that was the how of doing the stuff like pottery, right? Or the the pottery stuff. And the female deer, or I'm not too sure. I think female
I think I remember like a lamb, maybe. I'm
lamb, maybe, yeah, a lamb, right? Female lamb, and she got uh stomach ache, right? And she run around the house, and she knocked on one of some of the pottery product, right? And that's why the the fetus, it it uh, uh, what do you call, um,
like, I mean, aborted or died or.
yeah, die, right? And hit Arya consonant left the body
Mhm.
and go and went back to his old body. That means the
Yeah.
second. And the Buddha wake up from his meditation and praising him that yes, Saka, you'll be able to escape the death, the lion death in the hair of in the thing hair, right?
Yeah.
And the Buddha taught him the Dharma, and he be able to attend the first stage of Arhat. That means stream enter. And all his blessing for the Saka been restored, right? That so yeah, blessing by itself will not save us. The only time you have a good route to the cheaper champ with the blessing, it will it yeah, we will have more chance to be safe. Okay, all right. So we stop right here. Okay, all right. Okay. All right.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes, tomorrow I do have a wedding I'm going to. I don't know if I'll be done by 7 or not. I
Oh,
may be
okay.
done by 7. It starts at 4:30. Um, and so can I maybe text you around 6?
Yeah, I think it's okay, but
Yeah.
yeah, we can skip tomorrow if you want to.
Okay. And then I
Okay,
think there's
let's see.